to go with this women's semifinal. Zina Garrison on your right, Gabriela Sabatini on the other side.
Garrison is 24 years of age from Houston. Gabriela Sabatini just 18 from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Both very gifted athletes.
You talk about mobility. They both have that.
Mobility is a facet of any athlete that is very difficult to work on. You either have that or you don't.
What complicates it for Sabatini is that she's got such long, elaborate strokes. It takes a lot of time to hit it.
It's interesting the way she holds the racket to return serve. Very extreme backhand grip. And then she adjusts when she sees where the serve is coming.
40-30.
So Zina Garrison wins the back in the second game of the first set. Zina Garrison won the first game, and it's love 15, love 30.
Zina playing just as sharply, hitting the ball just as cleanly and crisply as she did in the first set against Martina Navratilova.
Interesting preparation, one-handed to return the serve.
This year.
I guess it's for balance because she does put the left hand on the racket just before she prepares to actually prepare the racket actually for the return. And she's obviously on the toes trying to stay loose.
Oh! It's a now, pretty good workout just getting ready to receive.
Yeah, indeed. Now let's see what she tries to do. She's well inside the baseline. See if she comes in.
Game Garrison.
Zina beat Nicole Provis, Helen Kolesi. That was a tough one, but she won at love in the third. Then Jill Hetherington, Arantxa Sanchez, and of course Martina.
Garrison a little bit late, realizing that she had hurt Sabatini with her previous shot, so she didn't get into a decent position to try to make that volley. She was just a step or two inside the baseline.
Might have been some indecision involved in that, too. She might have thought it was going out. All she can do about that one is applaud.
Love 30.
Here's a second look. Early preparation. Patented Sabatini topspin backhand for a winner. Love 30. If you're teaching anyone to try to play this game, you say if you watch the ball and get the racket prepared early, you always have a chance.
Love 40.
This is why it's going to be hard for Zina to continue to attack at the net. That ball dips as soon as it clears the net. Very hard to volley. That's why players had a hard time volleying Borg.
15-40.
Of course, that previous point was set up by the good return, made Zina half volley, so that makes you volley defensively, and then Sabatini had time to set up and pick her spot. Garrison now leads 2-1 first set.
We'll be back at the U.S. Open if Zina Garrison leads 2-1 first set. Sabatini serving this game. This is the first point.
Court movement, mobility. There's another look at watch the court coverage for both players. Angled half volley here. Looks like it'd be a winner. Long stride by Gabriela. Gets there. Can't do much with it because it's low. And now over the top. And she says, whoa, can't reach it. Excellent tennis.
All you can do when that happens is say, why did I work so hard?
Yep.
And then watch it go away.
But as you can see, Garrison wants to exploit the fact that Sabatini still doesn't move that well forward. She's trying to obviously drop shot her and then lob her. Sabatini's still more effective moving laterally.
And the book on Gabriela, too, is that she has been known to get tired in the third set of matches. That's why she has been not more successful against Steffi Graf. Split sets and then runs out of gas in the third.
Sabatini has won 5 of the 7 meetings between her and Zina Garrison.
But Zina won a real big one. That was at Wimbledon. Great match. 3-sitter. For Gabriela, she beat Bettina Fulco, Bev Bose. Those were all easy matches. Julie Richardson as well. Then Stephanie Rahe and Sevchenko. She was down a set, and she was also 2 games from losing that second set. A nice comeback and a real choke by Larissa Sevchenko.
40-15. If conditioning would be a factor, this would be a good day for Sabatini because it's rather cool.
But humid.
But humid.
Osvaldo Sabatini in the white shirt. He left General Motors in Argentina to take over Gabriela's business affairs, and so he's always around. That's Angel Jimenez, who's been coaching Gabriela for the 2nd year and has really improved a lot of parts of her game.
He's gotten her to shorten her ground strokes, which I think has been very effective. She's more accurate, more consistent.
Martina says of Sabatini, I think she's just playing better. I don't think it's only the big points. She's concentrating better, and she knows more about the game.
Here's a look at the service motion. Racket comes up first. The ball tosses a little bit to the left, which means she's got to kick the ball. Can't slice it from there. It's a little high as well. She had to hesitate a little bit. Both feet off the ground. Certainly not the best serve in women's tennis, but getting better. She does still need some work on that second serve. Little talent there, taking that tee. You'll see how deep this Garrison approach is. And watch Sabatini just roll over that ball right here. Now, this is pretty deep, maybe a foot or so from the baseline, and she hits it into the open court. Wonderful effort, and she now has the advantage trying to get even at 2-all in the first set. Gabriela set that up nicely, taking Garrison out of court, then missed her approach effort.
And Garrison really doesn't seem afraid of drawing in Sabatini at all. Matter of fact, that seems to be a tactic. Got a piece of that one.
Yeah, some big shots in that point by Gabriela.
They came to work, didn't they?
You know, when these both players are so quick that when you can hit a ground stroke winner from just inside the baseline, you know you've placed it pretty well and gotten some pretty good stuff on it.
Tony, I heard it said that Yvonne Lindell had grown accustomed to and had learned to accommodate this game. You can obviously hear the airplanes coming out of LaGuardia Airport. And he just waits until the noise goes away. Would you wait?
Well, when this point's over, I'll tell you, I was just thinking about that because I would have two different strategies depending whether I was serving or receiving, and I'll tell you that in just a second.
Second serve.
Second serve coming.
If I were serving, I would serve while the plane was going over because you take as hard a swing at the second serve as you do the first serve, depending on how much spin you put on it. The opponent can't tell because he can't hear it. We go by sound, like the center fielder. So you could pull the string on a first serve and they get way out ahead of the ball like a slow curve. Receiving, I'd back off because I don't want them to do that to me.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You're probably better off. There's a case where the short approach pays off. She didn't do it on purpose, but it stays low. See Gabriela pick it off just before it bounced the second time. She had to hit up, and it cost her the point.
Up. Advantage Sabatini.
Advantage Sabatini, and again she has a chance to get even. 2-all.
What an important game for Gabriela. She was in all kinds of trouble.
Manhattan and Central Park.
Sabatini thinks the serve was out.
15 love.
Fran McDowell is the chair umpire.
Gabby thought she got enough top on that ball to bring it down, but it just missed.
Nickname Gabby doesn't really apply, does it, Mary?
She doesn't live up to that nickname, no. She's kind of quiet in Spanish as well.
Very patient.
So Willis Thomas, who's been working with Zina for many years and exclusively since this time last year.
Again, this is set up by the good return, which forces a defensive volley from a low position. The volley's short, not a lot of pace on it. You can see the wide open court. Break point for Sabatini. We have already had a break apiece in this first set.
A double, and we have another one.
She leads 3-2.
So Sabatini leads 3-2. Serving, leading 3-2 in the first. If you're going to miss an approach shot, I think that's the way to miss it long, trying to get some depth on it, rather than just hit it short and hope that those good players don't knock it past you. 30 love.
See Garrison inside the baseline.
Zina continues to attack, and she's doing just the right thing. She's trying to press, trying to be aggressive on every single point, force the issue.
Just a little bit short with that one hit just past the service line, and that gives your opponent too much time to set up and pick their own spot for the passing shot.
That was Garrison's strategy that worked successfully against Martina.
I think we're seeing a little bit of the changing the guard in tennis with the Agassiz, the young Australians and so forth. Michael Chang did so well. And here the Sabatini, Zina's only 24. Steffi Graf.
Game Sabatini.
Martina now gone from this tournament at least. Chris Everett's problems.
Yeah, that's a shame. Sorry to hear that Chris is not feeling well. Pretty tough ball to swing at. With all that extra topspin on, it's dipping very quickly. That's going to be the kind I think you want to shorten the motion and watch it very carefully. It's almost like you're playing in the wind because it moves very quickly, dips.
Sounded almost like a mishit.
That's one of many things that Garrison does well, and that is go to the tennis ball. That ball was high. She didn't wait for it to come to her. She went to the ball, got it close to the net, had an easy volley. For 15-all first set.
Up 30-15.
Both these players play at a nice pace. Don't mess around between points.
And Michael, it's apparent that the big story is the flu that is sweeping the locker room. Can you bring us up to date? Let's start with Chris Evert.
Okay, Chris Evert has officially withdrawn from the tournament so that Steffi Graf gets a walkover into the final. There's also word that Rick Leach has gone to the hospital, and it looks doubtful that he'll be ready to play by the time this match is over, though officially he's not withdrawn. So they still may be back in case we get rain or something.
So he would have to be back here by the conclusion of the women's match, in theory, in order for his match to go ahead, and that seems unlikely.
That seems unlikely, but during the Open, anything is possible.
Well, it's certainly
Hopefully.
bad news that the flu in the locker room has caused the illness of both Chris Evert and Rick Leach, so it looks like there'll be no men's doubles championship, and Chris Evert has officially withdrawn. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Thank you,
Let's
Jim.
return you now to Pat Summerall in the booth.
Well, bad news. Very bad. Tennis fans and for those participants.
So sad, disappointing. You know, you get to the semis, the women's singles as Chris has here, and or the men's doubles final and not be able to play is really too bad.
That tends to happen a lot at the French Open, especially that if one person in the locker room has got a flu bug or something, it sweeps through there. Close quarters over 2 weeks' time. Everybody ends up sniffling around by the end of the French.
And you think, they get the end of the second week, they're getting tired, run down a little bit from the competition, the tension, the whole deal. It's late in the year. We're in our 9th month of the year, so they've been playing a lot of tennis. You okay? As good as I'm going to get, I guess.
Love 40.
3 break points now for Garrison.
Out. 15-40.
Obviously, Zina doesn't have any virus. She just bounces around, doesn't she? Getting ready every time. She is so eager.
30-40.
2 big serves there, but still break point. 30-40.
Terrific serving comeback from Sabatini. Down low 40. Really pumped in some biggies.
Not something you really look for from her, though she does go after the first serve, but you don't really consider her serve as a major weapon. Very timely first serves there.
What a good shot.
That's where the extra topspin comes in handy. That ball angle, the topspin brings it down quickly. You can get a better angle. Took Zina way out of court. She couldn't handle it. Agassi did that quite a bit to Jimmy Connors last night.
Sabatini finds angles and uses parts of the court that no other player even uses because of all that dip.
It makes me smile because you think all that, Marion, she's only 18. What's going to happen when she's 23 or 4 with another 5 or 6 years of experience under her belt?
This is already her 5th U.S. Open. Last year she lost to Martina in the quarterfinal.
Here's another look, and you'll watch the excellent volley here. And I have to think that Gabriela has an idea as we isolate on her, that stretch volley getting cross court. She knows that Garrison likes to hit the backhand down the line in the passing shot. She did it over and over and over again against Martina. Martina finally cut onto it a little bit, but it would appear that that is her preference when she's trying to make the pass.
Those statistics, by the way, come courtesy of the Unisys Corporation.
Game Sabatini.
Game of Sabatini.
Sabatini leads 5-3.
You mentioned earlier what an important game that 4th game was for Sabatini. How about that one coming back from love 40?
Big hold. Big hold.
3-5 now in the first set.
Zina finished the year last year number 9 in the world and termed the year a disappointment. That's how much pressure Zina can put on herself. She's had a good, strong year this year. She had such a disappointing U.S. Open last year. Had a match point against Lori McNeil in the round of 16, lost it. McNeil went on to beat Chris Evert. So when Garrison was able to beat Martina, she said, all I thought about was losing to Lori and coming back.
Here's another look at that last one. See the good forehand get down again. The book on Garrison is you'd rather make her at forehands than backhands. A little more erratic on the forehand side. That one was perfect.
40 all.
I like the comment that Zina made after beating Martina, though she let a big lead get away. She said, I've worked so hard, and I expected it. I think I deserve it, and I earned it. It's amazing when you work hard and practice hard, how you play better and you feel more confident.
Game Garrison. New ball.
Game to Garrison. And Sabatini leads 5-4 in the first game. Pat Summerall with Tony Trabert and Mary Carrillo. Women's semifinals. First set between Sabatini and Garrison. Sabatini serving for the first set.
She's been going down the line with the backhand. She went cross court, and there was a lot of extra room. Remember, we mentioned earlier how Zina likes to go down the line. Watch this. Where Sabatini going to cover down the line was when the left side of the center service line got past easily. Smart play by Garrison.
15 all.
I don't care how well you hit them. If you don't mix them up some, the good people are going to catch on and take advantage of it.
Did you ever jump on that second serve?
Here's an isolation. See how she was leaning into that ball, headed up around the shoulders. That enables you to hit down into your opponent's court.
She had moved in halfway between the baseline and service line, as she is again. Not quite that far.
Nicely done by Sabatini.
30 all.
And again, Gabriela finds an angle that most other players could never even imagine hitting. All that topspin. Just unplayable shot.
She liked it. 30 all.
To Sabatini.
Vamos, Angel Jimenez is telling his pupil Sabatini.
Love 15.
Sabatini said earlier this year that when she runs in Buenos Aires, where she's from, people lean out their windows and yell to her, "Never die." That would help pick up your pace a little.
I would think so.
15 all.
They must have a lot of very attractive women in Buenos Aires, because I heard that they say, well, she's just sort of average looking. I said, man, if she is average, maybe we're in the wrong country, Patrick. Amazing.
I just hope somebody yells at me. Never die.
You're talking about Zina. I think she plays with much more purpose this year than she has in the past. She was a hitter, but I didn't think she sometimes had a lot in mind, but she certainly has a game plan and sticks with it very well. Had she not gotten nervous on her own serve against Martinez, she would have won much easier and much earlier.
30 all.
To me, she looks so much more confident. There was a time where I thought she got very discouraged quickly.
Well, I think that can happen when you're hitting the ball okay, but you don't have much in mind, and so you don't get a good result. Well, a break point for Sabatini would get her off to a flying start in the second set.
She won the first set 6-4.
This is where, if you're a Garrison, you might want to slow it down a little bit. Willis Thomas, he's suffered plenty up here, though he's got to be happy that Zina's in the semi.
Last year, when Lori McNeil did so well here, beating Zina, beating Chris Evert, and playing a great match against Graf, they were sharing Willis Thomas as a coach and their longtime coach, John Wilkerson, who brought them both up from the Houston public park system. Lori McNeil got Wilkerson in the friendship divorce that happened last year. When McNeil did so well, it was felt by some of them that they had to split coaches and break up. They stopped playing doubles, and it really killed Zina. Zina said it was really Lori's idea. I'll tell you what, if Zina were my friend, I'd never give her up. Zina says of Lori, she left me. I didn't leave her. Maybe we can talk about it someday when we're older. Very sensitive woman right here. So it's great to see her having this kind of a tournament.
Comeback, and Garrison wins the first game of the second set. In the near court, Zina Garrison won the first game of the second set.
Love 15.
At the far end, that's the first point. And it's love 15.
They have had some very demanding points, type that would be tiring. We'll take a look at the draw here.
The walkover that Graf receives from Chris Evert puts her into the final. The winner of this match will meet Graf. Chris Evert had to withdraw from a virus that has also knocked out Rick Leach, who was to play in the men's doubles. He too had 103-degree temperature just this morning. He couldn't even walk out of this place. He needed a wheelchair to get to the hospital from the National Tennis Center.
15.
They talk about how tough it is to play here, and with those jets coming over, people moving around, you really have to concentrate. Everyone oohs and ahs when you make the topspin lob for a winner. Here's one that went awry. Zina had him go forward and then end up making a volley. That was supposed to be an offensive lob. Garrison went right up there. You see that she defeated Sabatini at Wimbledon this year.
It's 30 all.
Break point now for Garrison.
Quietly.
Garrison likes to go to the net patch. He's been there 39 times and won 25 of them. Another break point.
That was some return. That jumped away from Zina.
Watch this forehand extra top. She drove that ball and it jumped after it hit the court. And as fast as Zina is, she was not able to even get a racket on it, so it's deuce.
Sabatini has the advantage. She won the first set 6-4.
Gabriela can't believe that she missed this volley. Turns well, just caught the tape, tried to roll over, and she stands there stunned as we come back to live action, and is once again deuce. You think about it, both players just go about their business. They don't gripe and complain. They play as hard as they can play. As you can see, it is humid. Both perspiring profusely.
Alerting our local stations, our next break will be a 64-second station break. And then we'll be coming back to continue this match. Talk about distractions, trains and planes and horns and fires.
There has been some discussion about moving the U.S. Open somewhere else.
They wouldn't dare.
I wouldn't think so.
The stadium at the USTA's National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, New York, borough of Queens. Women's semifinal between Zina Garrison, serving right now, and Gabriela Sabatini.
Wait till all these people find out that Chris Evert isn't playing.
And probably the doubles won't be played either, the men's doubles final.
Things are going to get even noisier.
Both Rick Leach and Chris Evert apparently came down with the same kind of virus, both with extremely high fever. Both apparently have gone. Chris Evert definitely has.
Watch how hard Sabatini's worked here, and she stabs, can't get it, just lands on the baseline, and she stands up like, wait a minute, I got to get a breath here. Both players expending an awful lot of energy. Of course, you don't want to save any when you're in the semis of the Open. You got to get that final if you can.
15-30.
Again, alerting our local stations, our next break will be a 64-second station break. We'll be coming back to continue this match.
Those umbrellas we saw were not for rain, they're for sun. Though Zina did not win this point, she attempted as well as she could. When the lob goes overhead, watch her run parallel to the ball. A lot of people run straight at it. When they catch up to it, they can't do anything with it. I think she was actually trying to lob there, just didn't get a good piece of the ball. Great point now for Sabatini.
Second set. Sabatini won the first set 6-4.
Again, a break point. You know, Pat, 20 years ago when Virginia Wade won the first Open here, she got $6,000 for winning it. A semifinal loser here, whoever loses this match, will make $68,750. That's a losing semifinalist.
Get you back to Manhattan.
Yeah, you can take a cab. Another break point here.
mentioned one night last week that Boris Becker off the court makes $500,000 a month. As you have a look at our camera placed right on the bottom of the net, what Zina Garrison looks like coming in, then having to go back. A lot of territory she's having to cover. Anyway, I mentioned on the air that that's what Becker makes, $500,000 a month off the court. Next day, Tiriac came up to me, told me I had insulted him. Tiriac is his manager. He said, how could you give such an embarrassingly low figure? Now I am the laughing stock of the locker room.
Sabatini just powers this forehand, gets inside the baseline. That time Zina didn't even have a chance to get near the service line, so the pace of shot paid off there for the Argentinian.
Zina has tried so hard this whole match to break away from Sabatini, and Sabatini just keeps coming right back in her face.
And as you pointed out, Tony, every one of these points, particularly the last 4 or 5, have been physical workouts, very strenuous.
Another break point for Sabatini.
Sabatini. She leads 2-1, second set. She won the first. Gabriela Sabatini, who won the first set 6-4, leads 2-1 in the second, and she's serving.
Love 15.
Double fault number 2 by Sabatini.
Love 30.
Tomorrow, barring the presence of virus, the women's final and the men's semifinals. 11 o'clock Eastern Time we start. Event you might not know.
Oh! 15:30
in the event you might not know. Chris Evert and Rick Leach both have been attacked by a virus, and both have had to say, I can't play. So what we had planned, we'll have to replan.
That was a very big point there. Big miss by Garrison. It would have given her 3 break points. As it is, it's 15:30. Garrison needs to get a break back, get back on serve in the second set. Well, that was either terrific knowledge or wonderful anticipation by Sabatini, because she knew exactly where that forehand was going. Seems like they're using 5 runways at once over there, doesn't it, LaGuardia?
They get them out of there in a hurry, don't they?
30-40.
Another double. Third one.
Again, break point for Garrison. Oh, that was a shaky swing there. This this is where I would expect Garrison to try to attack the second serve because it has been shaky. See, she's inside the baseline. And she did attack it.
2-all.
It's 2-all in the second. When you see someone serve that nervously or shakily, that's when you want to step up and put pressure on. They're obviously not too confident. They wouldn't be shaking that second serve. They're just barely getting the racket on the ball.
First serve.
I'm not sure, but I would think Willis Thomas has told Zina on her second serve to get over the ball more. She was slicing against Martina, and she got nervous and served some doubles. Now she's getting over the ball, not getting a lot of the second one's deep.
15-love.
She's not necessarily getting the second serve real deep, but she's only served 2 double faults. There's the coach, Willis Thomas. Should be very proud of Zina's performance here, and he's had a lot to do with it.
Up. 15-all.
Zina can't wait to play, can she?
No.
At the end of a point, she hustles back, gets the ball turned around, sort of reminds me of Groff. So they play like they're double parked.
It's the way Agassi plays.
Just everybody's been going up to Zina and telling her not to get emotionally flat, which so often happens when you've had a big win like the one Zina scored over Martina. But as you can see, she is very alert, very much on her toes. She's brought a lot of emotion and energy to this match.
She takes that racket head up high, but sometimes she goes under. There are the times at the net, 58 times for Garrison, 37 winners, 21 for Sabatini, 14 winners.
Again, those statistics come to us courtesy of the Unisys Corporation.
Oh! 48-15.
40-15. Well done. Game to Garrison. She leads.
The knees stay down, bent over, get the eyes down near the flight of the ball. Beautiful stroke. That's the problem when you take a full swing inside the court. You can't change. Watch the big swing by Sabatini, and when she realized Garrison had guessed right, she couldn't change it. If you have a shorter preparation, you wait to see the other person move, then just go the other way with it. You don't need a lot of pace. I mentioned she's going to try to jump all over the serves and be aggressive. Look at her close in on that net. 3 break points now for Garrison.
Nice finish.
Yeah.
15-40.
We talk about the disparity in Sabatini's first and second serves. She's winning 74% of her on her first serves and only 17% off her second serve. So that tells a big story.
Second serve has been very short and very shaky, as you pointed out.
Yeah. No penetration at all.
This part of the second set is every bit as important as the same situation in the first set. Last set, Sabatini hung on. Wow, she just hung on again.
Good serve. First serve.
First serve there, not hit with full power, some extra spin to get it in, but had good penetration, good depth.
Second set. Sabatini won the first set 6-4. What a comeback right there. You look at the Unisphere, which was one of the centerpieces in the World's Fair when it was here in 1964.
Both admonishing themselves after this point. I thought Sabatini did a heck of a job to get there and still made a shot. She was not in a position to make a very good one. I'm not so sure what else she had hoped or wanted from herself. Obviously, she'd like you to win her, but
she's a very stern self-critic, Sabatini.
That'll only make her better. Don't be satisfied. Here's our net cam. Watch this. Zina coming right at you. Look at the feet work. Nicely done. That racket out in front and into the open court.
She leads 4-3 in the second. Zina Garrison at the net again. She leads 4-3 in the second set. Gabriela Sabatini won the first set 6-4.
Gabby very frustrated on that last changeover, dropping that last game at love. She looked very angry at herself.
You've got time for a snack? Bagel and lox, $7.95.
Seafood salad, $8.50. Maybe we can't take a taxi back to town.
Not if we want to eat.
Both these players do the same thing, I think, serving. They both toss the ball well into the court on the first serve, and they serve fairly effectively. The second serve, the ball, as the toss goes straight up, they get the body head of it, and then they can only brush around the edge of the ball. Has no penetration. If they could toss it into the court on the second serve, they'd have more weight on them.
15-30.
Again, you can really feel that Sabatini is getting more and more angry. I think she feels like she's letting this slip away from her.
Nice try by Zina. When she got to her shot, the ball was very low, and she knew that she tried to drive it, it would come up, be easy to volley. So she tried to get it back down low, take some pace off, and just caught the tape.
Again, Zina moves inside, well inside the baseline.
She does. She starts inside, Pat, and then she moves forward as the ball is struck, which really gets her in close to that service line to take advantage of the weak second serve. This is a break point, big point here in this match.
Game, Garrison. Garrison leads 5-3.
A wonderful half volley by Sabatini. Gets it pretty deep from that situation. She was obviously expecting a forehand down the line. Zina outsmarted her going cross court, and she's now serving for the second set.
Sabatini won the first set.
Love 15.
Take that.
Well, she overpowers her with some of those returns. When she really hits it on the nose, doesn't really put any, not too much extra spin on it. She really gets some pace on those shots. Mary, I think, as you said, a touch of frustration in the effort, too. She's angry with herself. I'm not exactly sure why, because she's not playing poorly, Sabatini, and Zina's, you know, playing a darn good match as well.
As I say, I mean, Sabatini is always very critical of herself. She'll have played a glorious match, and she'll still come off and say, no, it wasn't good. It wasn't too good.
First serve.
To see her bounce that one. When they hit you this high defensive lob, there's no advantage to hit it in the air because your opponent gets where they want to be before you can ever touch it. And you can mistime it because it's dropping straight down. She did that well.
Second set at the National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, women's semifinal. Gabriela Sabatini against Zina Garrison. Sabatini won the first set 6-4. Garrison is serving now for the second set at 30-all. Oh, what a good shot that is.
30-40.
Great point now for Sabatini, and she pulls that off because of the topspin. You watch her come low to high, roll that ball, and it dips so quickly, and then it jumps. Great point for Sabatini. Trying to get back on serve in the second set.
Game, Sabatini.
And she's back.
Garrison leads 5-4.
Being at 4-5 in the second. And it's 15-love. 15. All look down at Manhattan, if you would, from the Fuji blimp. Just across the East River. Beautiful day in New York.
It's supposed to be cold in those blimps. That's what I heard.
Depends on how high you go.
And how you dress.
All of those things. Look out. Look out.
She missed it. There is an isolation on
15,
Zina.
30.
Watch the reflexes here. Comes right at her right hip. She managed to keep that in place. She could not get to this one. And fortunately for her, it did go long. 15-30. Now look out. Here comes Zina. Going to take the short second serve and come charging. See what happens. Sabatini did that well because she had to worry about running into the net here. She touches the net, she would lose the point. Watch this. Watch her come to an abrupt stop when she makes a little tap into the open court. Look out, racket down. And Zina says, hey, that's too good.
Pretty lively game here.
Yeah.
Very spirited.
30 all. Zina puts two together. We go to set number 3. Good.
Remarkable shot by Sabatini.
This whole game has been full of terrific shot making.
The half volley to the good player is sort of like the sand shot for a good golfer. They're not too worried about it. For the hacks like us, we get nervous when we get that sand. And the club player hates to have to try to half volley.
Sabatini at 5 all.
Zina sets up nicely here. Trying to put a little extra pace on that slice backhand and caught the net. She doesn't miss that one very often.
New ball.
Summerall here with Tony Trabert and Mary Carrillo. Your thoughts so far, Mary?
It's just, I think it's great. I mean, this was obviously going to be the better match, the more competitive match than the Everett Groff match, and I mean, there's nothing between these two right now.
We talked about two good athletes.
15 all.
I was saying they both move so well, Pat, and the one gal, Sabatini, is so very gifted, just blessed with those good hands. And Zina Garrison, a very hard worker, and it's a very even match.
Garrison serving.
15-30.
Sabatini won the first set, 6-4. It's 5 all in the second.
Look out here at 15-30. I think Zina played an out ball.
30 all.
Sabatini thought it was going out, so really had to try to hustle back in a normal position.
Out. 30-40.
A break point for Sabatini. This is where Zina said, I have to get that first serve in. Don't want to have to worry about spinning a second one in.
Which she did.
Little extra spin on it to make sure you get it in. Your opponent stand a little farther back. Smart play.
Advantage Sabatini.
I've never felt you can half volley with the racket face coming down at the ball. You have to get underneath it and come up through the ball. As it can fly in like it did there. Again, break point for Gabriela. She wanted to get that break with a flare. Here's what, look at her now. You know, it's in pride. Why don't I just get it back in play and give her a chance to miss one?
Advantage Garrison.
But Sabatini is extravagant by nature. It's just nothing, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah, they want to do it in a flamboyant way, don't they? They want to have that extra little flair to it. And it's fine when it works.
You know, the rap against Sabatini has been in the last couple of years, well, you know, she gets tired and you end up questioning her heart as you see Zina Garrison pop up a lob that wasn't good enough. But I'm convinced that Sabatini really wants to be number one.
It's the third deuce in this game. Classify that as a bad miss because she wasn't trying to do anything with it, just get on the forehand side. She wasn't coming in behind it.
Break point.
This is the third break point in this game.
They're 5-all in the second set. Sabatini won the first. Sabatini serving.
15 love.
She leads 6-5 second. She won the first 6-4.
Trying to close it out and get into the final against Steffi Graf, who is advanced to the final, unfortunately, because Chris Evert is ill with a virus and had to default, so it's a walkover. Zina Garrison is the only player I can think of on the tour that chokes up on the racket. Normally, the player holds it down, that butt piece on the end. You see how much of the handle you can see? We'll get another view of it. She chokes up on that racket, probably to feel like she can control it better.
And control Sabatini's spin.
I think she does it all the time, though. I mean, not just against someone like, there it is right there. Good view, guys.
30-15.
30 all.
Mary, are you surprised that Zina is going in on Sabatini's forehand?
Quietly.
Not really. I think I've seen a lot of players go that way against Gabriela. The backhand is a feared weapon, and it's very consistent.
Extra good point, and you see the
40-30.
touch by Sabatini, and as fast as Zina Garrison is, she cannot get to that. And it is match point for Gabriela Sabatini. She's saying one big serve.
I hope. Took something off of it.
Game, set, match, Sabatini. 2 sets to love. 6-4, 7-5.
An hour and 40 minutes. Sabatini wins in straight sets, but tough sets. 6-4, 7-5. So she'll play Steffi Graf. Right now, let's go to Tim Ryan.